Fun little van.
No. We're on. We should be on anyway. Hello, Davey. You're actually here before us. Welcome.
We got all caught up in discussing whether Electric Six are the cover of Rah Rah Rasputin.
It's just called Rasputin.
And forgot about the time, so sorry about that.
So they do then.
I'm looking. I'm.
Okay. Right.
I think it's can't stick in my head now. Thanks, everyone.
I think we just all had a neurodiverse moment there. So, hello, welcome. The camera's there now. Welcome to Bonus Action Heroes. Tonight we are continuing with our, what should we call it? Is it a Vampire Chronicle? Is it going to go on that long? I think some people would say yes.
This is episode 5.
Yes.
It is episode 5 of a one-part, one-shot. So, yeah, last we left off, the coterie had concluded their investigations, returned to Croydon with the body of foul old Ron, the Nosferatu, who they had returned to the Prince of Warwickshire, Sebastian Markov. Careful to not share too much in front of the wrong people, they managed to meet with the Prince and Mimi, I think, alone and share their theory on the perpetrator of the murders and of the theft, which was episode 5 of 500. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, you might not be far wrong there, Davey. And shared that they thought that Eva, the Seneschal, the Ventru Seneschal of Croydon, was actually behind the potential breach of the blood contract, perhaps in an attempt to weaken the Prince or weaken the domain for some reason as yet unknown. Suspicious of the sheriff, who Eva had recommended they went to visit Max Fenworth, a Malkavian who they discovered was locked. Well, effectively locked in a cell beneath the Elysium site, the gallery. They're rather odd. There's no. How would you describe it? Was it an odd experience? What was it?
Intense.
Lost for words. Intense. Okay, yeah, that's probably fair. An odd and intense meeting with this strange Malkavian who seems unable to differentiate between the past, present, and future. He revealed a few things or said a few things that made no sense. The party then understood why Croydon was safe from the attacks. Max was in effect seeing the attacks before they happened and giving warning, allowing all the kindred to escape. Some part of the deal with Markov seems to have been done to improve that or enhance it, but it's safe to say that Max was not really aware of what was going on around him, especially as he was blind. So the party returned to the surface with sunrise approaching and decided that they would return. Hero and Madame would return to the Snake Pit to rest, and Barnabas and Gerard would return to the lovely abandoned subway station. Upon arriving at the Snake Pit, Madame noticed a strange van, a large van, parked. I have a picture of it. Parked nearby to the club, and there was a glint of glass with a heightened vision and movement inside. Definitely at least one or two people inside. Concerned they were being watched, they stopped to decide what to do next. Gerard and Barnabas also found that some sort of motion sensors had been installed in the sewers as Gerard headed towards his haven in the abandoned subway station. So that was where we left off. We shall start, first of all, with Madame and Hero outside the Snake Pit. The van you see there is parked down the road. It's quite a large van. Looks like it's rigged up almost like a camper. The windows do seem tinted even at night. They're quite dark. The lights are off at the moment.
Currently can't see the van because I don't have a token on the
Yeah, I can't.
scene.
Sorry, stream also can't see it. Thought I'd forget something.
So, where we last left off, Hero is kind of leaning over Adam so she can be like viewing the van over his shoulder. Is that correct? Are we still at that point?
You
we
are in
haven't
effect,
gone to get out.
yeah, in the car. It's up to you what you do next.
Can I enable Eyes of the Beast? So vampire
Sure.
can use supernatural red gleaming into their eyes, giving them sight even in total absence of light.
Mm-hmm.
No roll required. So
Yeah. Madame would notice Hero's eyes, just this red reflection in the backs of his eyes, like a wolf or a deer. And then,
Did you want to take a look?
if you don't mind, and Hero will kind of place his hand on the back of her shoulder, and his other arm will go around her, and he'll kind of move so then suddenly she's in front of him, but his hand is blocking the back of her head, and now the back of her spine, just to try and offer some kind of comfort to her
She
now
would
being exposed to them.
100% lean into that. Not that we need to go into detail, but she knows how to suddenly shift on top of a guy.
Oh dear. These are the two worst people to have like stuck in a car in this moment. And so can I now try and look and see whether I want to know whether the glint of the glass, whether it's a scope or whether it's a camera lens. And then can I make out whether there are people in there?
okay. With your enhanced eyesight in the dark, even though the van is dark, you can see a shape sat in the front passenger seat of the van, and they do indeed have a camera with a very long lens on it. You catch a glimpse of a slight glow in the back, and another figure seems sat at some kind of laptop or computer.
Can I reach over to the stereo and turn the music up kind of as high as we can really bear it, just in case they're trying to listen in?
Sure.
I want.
Go ahead.
No. You go first.
Seems to be a camera, at least, rather than the scope of a gun. One in the front, maybe one in the back, but they've definitely got some technology in there.
This is a bit forward, but maybe I could stay at your place tonight. It looks like the club's compromised.
Okay, we can see if they'll follow us as well. The general joy in Hero is kind of gone, so even though he is like holding you, it's very matter of fact.
Can you make out the number plate?
Can I make out the number plate? Does it have a number plate?
On the front, no.
The model?
Okay.
It's a Volkswagen Crafter. It's a large van.
1 second, where's my notebook?
Yeah.
Gosh, darn it.
What colour?
It's a sort of gunmetal grey.
Can we drive past it, see if there's a plate on the back?
That's what we're gonna do, don't you worry. Gunmetal grey. VW Crafter. Is it of a particular gen? Do we know kind of how old it might be from
It's
the
brand new.
brand?
Brand new.
Okay.
or as close as you can get, anyway.
So with that decided, kind of move Madam and myself back into kind of like a midpoint, let her kind of settle back into a seat, and I'll reach over, buckle her back in, kind of making a bit of a show so anyone who's watching in the van thinks that something's about to happen.
Oh yeah,
And then
play into it, very playful and staring at Hero with occasionally glancing at the van.
Yeah, as you glance at the
Um,
van with your heightened senses as well, Madame, you'll see like glints of the lens.
and then put the car in gear, take off at quite a high speed going past it, but we want to try and keep an eye in the rearview mirror for if there's a license plate or any stickers, any kind of identifiable markings on this particular car.
Okay. Yeah, you speed back at speed, and as you get closer, you can see the figure with the camera, and as the car passes by, you see them lower the camera, obviously not wanting you to see it. And indeed, as you drive past, if someone looks behind you, we'll be able to get the number plate.
Yes.
There is one on the back. You can see actually on the roof that it's got like roof racks, quite heavy roof racks that look like they could carry quite a lot of equipment. And in fact, you, as you drive by, there is a very small sticker on the rear of the van. Very small, but you've both got very heightened senses, so you would see that it says King's Brewery and Distillery.
Is that familiar to either of us?
You would probably know it as one of your, well, it's probably not one of your suppliers, but it's a supplier of alcohol.
Local.
Quite a big one. No, not local.
No.
It's like corporation.
A big corp. Okay.
Do you know anything more about any of the delivery men around here, maybe? Anyone who
Actually.
might have spoken?
Do you think we can talk in this car?
Let's just get a bit further away.
You've probably got 45 minutes till sunup.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure we said that my place isn't too far, so it's about 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
So we can make that no problem.
As the van disappears in your rearview mirror, you don't see the lights come on. You don't see it start, drive off, anything. It's just still sat there outside the snake pit. We will switch now to Gerard and Barnabas in the sewers. You've just found the motion sensors. I'm going to change the music.
I thought we were just
Too
about
funky
at
for the
my.
sewer.
I thought we were just about at my haven.
Well, you are, but is that where you're going?
Yes. We're still going to my haven.
Should we? I feel like with these here, that they obviously know where your haven is, Gerard. Should we? I'm happy to go there, but maybe we should do it a little quietly.
Well, I would happen to agree, and it's very fortunate that we're two of the quietest people that we both know.
I'm going to use unseen passage, which is a rouse check.
Please rouse check. Hunger does not increase, but you fade even to Gerard's eyes. As you
Why
point.
not? I'm going to make this even more awkward. I'm going to use unseen passage also.
Okay, you also manage not to increase your hunger as you both make your way towards Gerard's.
I do realise this is now slightly awkward, Barnabas, because neither of us can see each other. But I think
Well,
we'll
as soon as you
manage.
speak, he would see you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Now I have to do it again.
Yeah.
Right, another route check.
You're so lucky.
You also use Silence of Death, so I'm not making a noise either. I'm going to head towards Gerard's then.
You both know where it is. Making it, yeah, you do. You hear Gerard sort of say, "Oh, well, we can't see each other." Oh, balls! As he appears, and then disappears again. And you both make your way. You come to the tunnel, which you would both recognise. Gerard, you've installed some motion sensors here, so there is sort of very dim lighting, emergency lighting that comes on as you begin to make your way towards your haven. How are you proceeding?
Well, we're obviously going to be a bit quiet, keeping an eye out for any signs of motion sensors or other alternative means of detection.
Yeah, likewise. Now we've seen one, be very on the lookout for anything the same.
Okay, awareness plus wits or investigation plus intelligence. I will let you roll either of those.
Investigation plus intelligence, you say?
Oh dear.
So bestial success.
I got possible bestial failure because that little skull thing that makes it automatically a failure, does it?
No. That just means that's no. It's not a failure because you got 4 successes, but it is a bestial. It is a messy critical, I believe, is what they call it. So, Gerard, you're looking around and you can't see any of these sort of laser motion sensors. You can't see anything else. It doesn't look like anyone has interfered here, and perhaps they haven't installed them this far in. Perhaps they are just in the sewers. Barnabas, you can see nothing, but your paranoia is up, and you think you can see nothing because they've hidden them a lot better here. They are. There's definitely some here. You just haven't seen them. So you just feel the beast starting to come to the surface as whispering these words of paranoia in your mind.
I shall freeze and just look around skittishly to try and see if I can see them just for the moment.
Nothing. They've hidden them really well. Really well. These are professionals. Whoever has hidden these, you can't see them. There's nothing to find because they know what they're doing. Gerard, you see Barnabas just sort of freeze.
Well, I wouldn't. Because he's invisible and making no sound.
Oh, fair enough.
So unaware he is completely stopped, I would probably just carry on into my haven.
Okay. You reach your haven. Are you staying hidden or are you revealing yourself?
I'll do an initial surveillance to have a look around and investigate and poke about. And then if I feel relatively satisfied, then I will stop being hidden.
Okay. Roll investigation plus intelligence or plus awareness. Yeah, it's enough, even though it is a right state. There's just junk everywhere, dead rats. A normal individual who walked into here that hadn't been here before would struggle to spot if anything has changed. But you know exactly where everything should be, down to the last rat corpse. And it's all exactly where you left it.
In that case, I'm going to become visible. and I will poke my head through the door, and kind of just like speak to the other wall opposite me, because I don't know if Barnabas is inside my haven yet or still in the sewers. And speak slightly raised, not exactly shouting, saying, "My haven appears undisturbed, so I would get inside as soon as you can."
You hear that voice, but is it Gerard?
I'm going to slink back towards the wall of the sewer, and I will drop Unseen Passage and Silence of Death and summon a rat.
Okay.
That's a charisma plus animalism roll.
Sure.
Just give me a moment. How do I do it? Well, I can't find animalism. That's right. Never mind. Oh no.
You see a rat running along the side of the tunnel, and as you reach out with your mind to try and communicate with it and bend it to your will, it stops and just gives you a funny look. It gives you this funny look. It's like, how can a rat look so patronizing? But this rat is the most patronizing rat you've ever seen. You reach out, grab it, and just bite its head off.
That rat was broken. I'm going to try another one.
Okay. The other rats look quite terrified, and they will not come near you. But unfortunately, you don't manage to, and the beast is getting more and more angry.
Is that a hunger success, that one with the triangles?
That's the hunger, yeah.
Oh dear. I'm going to have to just very slowly and cautiously work my way along the edge, looking along the edge of the wall for any bits of light, because I now don't even trust the rats. I think that Ava must have persuaded the rats to work for her, so if any of them come near me, I will kill them.
They are Ava's rats, clearly. Yeah. As you take quite a long time to work your way up, and Gerard, you're starting to wonder if something's happened to him. There's no sign of him, and then at last you just see him appear at the edge of the tunnel, and then the actual doorway into your haven is a hatch in the floor. He drops down inside, and you shut the hatch behind him.
Where do we first meet?
Oh, fuck, I don't remember. I'm like 300 years old. Give me a fucking break, man. Paris, I think. I don't know. Italy. I can't remember.
Tinder.
Tinder.
What's that? Grinder. That's the one.
Close enough. Just had to check it was you.
It's true,
Yeah,
the real
I'm
one
gonna
wouldn't
slap you.
remember it.
I think she subverted the rats.
What?
The rats.
What about the rest?
I think Eva's persuaded them to spy for her.
That's. I don't think a Ventru would bother with rats. I think she's. I mean, you saw Laltha's expression when I patted his shoulder. I tried to give him that hug and the European greeting kiss. I think they would be repulsed at the idea.
Maybe I just need to sleep.
Well, my haven looks undisturbed, so we can rest for a while. But I should probably let somebody know. So, take a seat or look around for somewhere comfortable to settle yourself.
Should we keep watch?
I will stay awake for a while, I think.
Brennan can watch for a bit too, and I can watch for a bit.
I need you to do rouse checks to stay awake in the day for every hour.
Shit. Okay. I'm okay with that. That will be fun for me. That's weird because it fits in with something I had planned to do anyway, potentially. But Gerard would take that moment to retrieve his phone, and he would probably call Madame. Because
there's no phone signal in the subway.
Fuck. Then how did Stu call me?
I don't think you would.
Do you not have a landline?
I probably would, actually, to be fair.
You could go a bit higher. I'll say there's a little spot a bit higher that you can go to.
I mean,
if you stand with like your arm in the air with it on speakerphone, like balanced on one leg, it will just about get 1 bar.
Yes, I will just descend probably into like the surface structure. Ascend into the surface structure. Keeping an eye out for detection-y thingies, I believe is the technical term, and then call Madame.
Okay, we will flip back to Madame and Hero. You arrive at Hero's haven. What does it look like, Hero? Because I haven't got a picture because I don't know.
It's just a standard. It's not quite a block of flats, but it's a collection of dwellings in one building. Very nondescript, very normal. Doesn't suit Hero at all.
Kind of like a condo.
Yeah. Like it's nothing fancy. It's probably if not a studio, if it's not studio apartments, it's like where it's a small room that has got pretty much everything in one room with just like a slight bedroom off of it and a slight bathroom off of it. It's nothing fancy. It's obviously not where he spends his time. So he does
go in.
And I have done a couple of things on the way there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go for it.
Well, I was going to call Gerard, but also I want to call Stu.
Okay, you tried to call Gerard initially, and it just goes boop, 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 as if there's no signal, which sometimes happens when he's in his creepy den. But you call Stu. It takes a while, probably 4 or 5 rings, and then you just, Stu.
He's still at the club?
No, I've gone home. Is that all right?
Yep.
I assumed you were staying somewhere else.
Yes. Can you meet us tomorrow evening? I won't give Hero's address, but I'll look for a
landmark.
Wait, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
There's a pizza place on the corner.
Yeah. Can you look up, and I will give the description of the van and the number plate.
Yeah, no problem. It's going to cost a few quid. It's the second one this week. Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I hadn't fallen asleep yet anyway. They'll be starting work in about an hour. It'll be after sunup, I'm afraid, but yeah. Do you want me to text you or just tell you tomorrow?
Tell me tomorrow.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
No worries. And as you hang up, the phone rings.
Believe it or not, I was about to call you. Gerard.
that I find that difficult to believe, but carry on. I was just calling to let you know that some lecherous twat has put motion sensors all over my sewers.
Interesting. Somebody has been spying on the snake pit.
It would look like we're being surveyed, or surveilled, I suppose is the proper term in some fashion.
Are you safe where you are?
My haven is actually undisturbed. I don't think they know where it is. I think the motion sensors were an attempt to...
Don't say too much over the phone, if they could be listening.
Can they do that?
I believe so, yes. We should talk about this more in person, not over the phone. Where can we meet tomorrow?
Well, you know where I live.
Place... Yes, but your place may be compromised, as may mine. Shall we meet at the place we were this evening with everybody?
It's like a very long silence. That seems completely out of the blue, and he goes, "Oh, right, yes, of course, that place."
Good. Stay safe.
I'll be fine, but I hope you and Hero are.
Oh, I've hung up.
That. So
I imagine
rude
though he's a
sometimes.
bit older, so he probably keeps talking for quite a while. And then he's like, "Hello."
Well, there's a dial tone that comes off, or like the bloop noise. And it's like, well, I hope you're. So rude. Just goes back down.
Sorry, we can continue into Heroes Haven.
He's that old that he's halfway through telling you what he had for lunch last Thursday before he realizes you're no longer listening.
So I found
Yeah,
this
hello.
local drug addict in the alleyway. It was delightful. It's loaded with all kinds of narcotic cocktails. Narcocktails, I like to call them.
And there's several things about that.
It's now canon.
That's fantastic.
Now cocktails.
No cocktails.
Jim's way with words is unparalleled, unsurpassed. I
also
will
like-
relate all that to Hero.
Okay. I also liked it earlier. What was it you called it? European hug style kiss. Or something.
The hugging European greeting kiss.
That's it.
It's very, very much an Englishman describing
Yeah.
some sort of social interaction that we can't
It's the
truly
Frenchman
understand.
that's been in England too long and has become an Englishman.
What they do on the continent.
Some sort of overabundance of invasion of space.
Okay.
Okay, so as we get closer to the Haven, I want to keep an eye out for anything that just seems out of place. Any other sign of similar vehicles?
Okay. Sure. You can roll a either. Well, it'd be awareness plus wits, I think, as you were driving.
Come on. Wits. One success.
The roads are quiet, but they're starting to get busier. People are starting to get up and go to work. There's that, even in winter as it is now, there's that slight glow on the horizon. You know, the sun is going to come up, although thankfully it comes up a bit more slowly this time of year in the UK. There's a few people walking along the street. You see someone jogging, you see someone walking a dog. But nothing out of place, nothing that strikes you as suspicious. Doesn't mean it's not there, but all seems well. You don't think they know where your place is, or you don't think they're necessarily watching you.
Yeah, so continue on, pulling to parking space. I'll run around the car to let Madam out, put my hand in the way of the door sill so she doesn't hit her head. She's too graceful to do that anyway, but trying to be gentlemanly. And then I'll lead her through to the apartment, which would be on the second floor.
Okay. You enter. I assume that the place has got blackout curtains and blinds and such so that the windows don't let any light in.
And there's 2 internal doors. It looks as if no one really lives here. It looks like it's a show home. It's just very plain, very beige. He'll take Madame Free to one door, and he'll open it, and please feel free to treat this as your own home. Lock the door from the inside. I'll sleep in the bathroom.
You don't have to do that, Hero. I'm the one intruding upon your space. Is it a double bed?
Yes.
I have no issue sharing.
This might come as a surprise, but it doesn't feel like the gentlemanly thing to do.
Well, then I appreciate your hospitality. I must say, I expected a bit more of your personality in here.
I got enough personality that I don't need to surround myself with it.
You do indeed. I have just remembered I need to do one more thing. And I will take my phone out and write. Oh, I can't write. I will call then. Oh, crap. I will call it.
Okay. I will kind of point you into the bedroom, and in the corner there'll be a computer set up and a monitor that has some security cameras for kind of around the building. So it's not full-blown paranoia, but it's this guy moves a lot. He's going to be quite careful. So you've got that set up. There are drawers. There might be a spare phone in one of the drawers, but I'm not sure.
All right, I'll take a look.
And I'll leave it up to the DM to decide whether there is a burner phone or not.
You can have one in there if you want.
Right, I will take the number from my phone to call Z.
Okay. It rings. And rings. And rings. And then it says this number is not available at this time.
Crap. Can you send a message for me and I'll hand the phone to Hero?
You can feel yourselves getting tired, and this is a tiredness that you never experienced when you were alive. You're just becoming heavy. You're just slouching and starting to feel consciousness dragging at you as it sort of pulls you down.
If I start to feel like I'm slouching in front of Madam, I'll kind of lean into the doorway, and like I'll put my hand on like the sill, just so I'm kind of holding myself upright in a kind of non-cliche way, but an overly cliche non-cliche way. You get the idea.
Yeah.
What's the message?
We've got to keep it short and vague. Debonne compromised. Meet at the same place tomorrow? ?
Just for Hazel's confirmation, by same place, do you mean the Elysium? Do you mean the hotel, or do you mean Coventry?
I mean Elysium.
Because we've been to 3 places.
I'm aware it
Okay.
could accidentally be the hotel, but I'm hoping Gerard
I
and
was thinking
Z get
Elysium.
Elysium.
Okay.
We can't have this gathering if the club's compromised.
I'll send that message and grab a cushion that has no real substance to it off the couch and go lie down in the bath. So there's no windows in the bathroom or the bedroom.
Okay.
I like to think I sleep like Morticia.
Why not? Why not? So we will go one last time back to Gerard and Barnabas. The same. You feel this weariness that it is only something that the kindred can experience. It is this all-encompassing tiredness. But if you want to try and stay up, you can.
Yeah,
You
Gerard
already feel sluggish and weak.
Gerard will stay up. He will usher Barnabas off into a room where he can settle in, a bit more cozy, a little cleaner than most of the other rooms. Just like the guest room, so I put a bit of effort into making sure it's at least bone free, skeleton free, corpse free. Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you. And then after Barnabas is settled in, Gerard will shuffle a little deeper into his subway haven to a lovely little armchair he has, staring at a little curtained wall. He'll pull the little curtain back and then slump down in his chair, and he will spend as long as he can manage to be awake, staring at an old, somewhat fraying and weeping, kind of like old ancient oil painting of rather fancy-looking nobleman with pulled back curly hair and a little goatee, with a lovely blonde youngish woman who have a small young red-headed child kind of like nestled between them, and he'll just stare at this this painting of himself pre-embrace and the family he had for a while, and just silently mope whilst he's trying to keep an ear out.
Okay. I'm going to need you to roll a rouse check. I don't know if this is normal rules, but it just feels right to me. I don't know what Davey would do, but yeah, and also probably I'm going to say
That's no successes.
yeah, okay. But no bestial failure either. You stare at this picture for probably 5 minutes, and then the world fades away. You drift into unconsciousness just for a brief moment. In your dreams, you see the woman and the child. The woman holds a hand out to you, and then you remember nothing else. The sun rises, and the mortals go about their day, go to work, do their shopping, walk the dogs, take the kids to school. And thankfully you all awake the next evening. What would you like to do?
I would have been sort of put my back against the corner of the room that Gerard showed me about my paranoia. I'm very hungry and everything's starting to take a red tinge. I'm sort of my mind keeps going back to feeding. And so I intended to stay awake like Gerard, but at the last moment, as I can feel my eyes kind of drooping, I would have called Brannon in and asked him to sit guard and just fallen unconscious. So waking up,
Everyone needs to roll a rouse check, please, to see if your hunger increases. Barnabas.
I need to feed now.
All of your hungers increase by the looks of it.
I got one success.
Except for Gerard. Jammy Gerard.
I need to feed. I'm full hunger, so I don't know what that means.
Your full hunger? 5?
Yeah.
Watch out, Gerard.
Gerard, you look at Barnabas, and he no longer looks like a friendly Elton John lookalike. His eyes are bloodshot and angry. His fangs are out already, and he just looks furious. He looks like a just animal. You don't see much of your friend there anymore, barely clinging on.
Yeah, I think in this moment, Gerard probably, considering the information he got yesterday and how he spent a portion of his night, he probably wouldn't initially say anything, at least for a while. He'd probably stand up from his chair and go and pull the curtain back over the painting. And he would probably have a moment to silently mumble, going, "Oh, well, there would be worse ways."
You would know that in this state, so easy for the beast to present itself. It would be so easy for him, whilst he's trying to feed, for the beast to take over and him just rip someone's throat out. He is losing the human part of Barnabas, and the bestial part is coming to the front.
I need to eat now. I need to feed.
Let's find someone for you responsibly. We can't have a murder drawing more attention in this.
Where do they sleep?
Where do who sleep?
The food.
Come with me, and Gerard will take him above ground into the city. And Gerard's preferred method usually of feeding is breaking and entering. So he will find a quiet little house and effectively let Barnabas inside. Like, be quiet and please.
Okay, roll.
Try to avoid killing anybody.
You can find a house within a few minutes. You can roll a what would it be? Larceny?
Larceny and dexterity?
Yeah. You picking the lock or breaking it?
I'll pick it.
Okay, yeah, dexterity then. Okay. Yeah.
It's got one really sharp fingernail, so I just go.
Yeah, you just
and then slide it up.
Yeah. The door opens and creaks open.
I'll sort of dart in as soon as the door opens and sneak upstairs, assuming that the house is asleep. I'm kind of being as quiet as I can, but
as you
slow.
begin to go for the stairs, you hear a voice from the back of the house. Just say, "Oh, are you home already? Finished work early today. I'm in the kitchen."
On space.
I'm going to not go into the kitchen. I'm going to sneak to the upper floor of the house and check the rooms.
Okay. Yeah, you open the door.
Being as quiet as I can, I don't want to alert the person in the kitchen that I'm moving around the house.
Okay. Roll a stealth plus dexterity for me. Be aware. Yeah.
I have unknowingly created one of the worst crime scenes Croydon has ever seen.
Well, I don't feed on people that are awake, so
You're about.
That's why I'm going upstairs looking for sleep children, which I'm afraid to right now.
There's no one upstairs. There's no children. There's no children's rooms. Yeah, and you do want someone that's asleep, but there isn't
Well,
anyone
your
here.
predator type, you can. That's your preference, but you can eat anyone anyway.
Well, he's gonna now
Mostly.
anyway. So you are quiet. You're quiet like a stalking cat. You are absolutely silent. Even the floorboards do not creak. But the beast doesn't care if they're sleeping or not anymore. It wants whoever's in the kitchen, and it wants it now.
I will. I'm going for the kitchen then.
Well, you move again silently. I don't know where you are, Gerard.
I would probably be stood inside the house, trying to stand somewhere where my I can't remember what it's called. I think my cloak of shadows or something kicks on.
Yeah.
So that I could just stand there and be invisible.
Okay.
So I can keep an eye on where in the house Barnabas is going.
So you would see him go upstairs silently, and then you see him coming back with this look in his eyes.
I'm going to do the really smart thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can tell that I think he's going to just start ripping someone apart, I'm probably going to try and grab him and drag him out the door. Being like, oh, no, that's not what...
It's hard to say whether he's going to rip someone apart, but it sure looks like it.
I guess I'm putting hands on Barnabas and removing him from the house.
How do you feel about that, Barnabas?
Oh, I'm eating.
Okay, he's eating. He's resisting. So if you want to hold on to him,
Yeah,
you're going to need to grapple him.
it's
Brawl plus
contested
strength.
athletics and yeah.
Athletics and strength, yeah, or brawl.
Shit, brawl would be better. Rescind that.
No, done it now.
Fuck! You didn't say brawl was acceptable first.
I chose brawl because you're physically trying to grapple him. Not about how athletic you are. Barnabas pulls free and moves into the kitchen. And in the kitchen, you see a young guy, sort of longish blonde hair, slightly messy over his shoulders, and he's stood at the counter with a knife. And he's just slicing vegetables. Hasn't heard you come in, despite Gerard grabbing you. You are silently stalking this person. You come up right behind them, and if you breathe, they would probably feel your breath, but they seem unaware.
I just leap on their back and start sucking at their throat.
Okay.
And at that point, I have to come in to be damage control, and I'm like, "Don't kill them."
I'm not going to make you roll. He's unaware. His back's to you, and you just leap on his back, grapple him, arms and legs round him, and just bite deep and start drinking. How much do you want to take?
I will not kill him, I think, because I'm a little bit of me is aware that, but I won't be being careful, so he might. Yeah, I'll worry about that when I've finished eating. I just need to eat.
Okay, so you very much don't want to kill him. The beast very much does not care. So I'm just trying to remember what you need to roll. Sorry, I did not think we would be into this so early. I think it probably is a frenzy check. Yeah, so roll a frenzy check for me. There might be... I'll check it just in case it's not, but yeah. You resist just... No, you fail. Just take it. See, it's difficulty 3. Thank you, Davey. Yeah, you try your hardest, but the beast just pushes your mind down. and you get the flood of this warm, nourishing liquid.
Is there anything I can do to attempt to try and, if it looks like...
What do you want to do? He is clearly just feeding now and going for it.
I would probably be inclined to try and like grab that part of like around the forehead, try to loop under his eye, and try to pull his head back and be like, "Oh, you need to calm down a little bit now, Barnabas."
Okay, contested roll then.
Brawl will do.
Brawl and strength, or athletics and strength. I'll let you do as well. Likewise, if you're just trying to.
Messy critical.
Okay. You pull his head away. He's taken quite a lot of blood from this guy. You pull his head away, and then you see the blood as well, and you're hungry. You're really hungry. And as you're pulling him away, you just basically just like lick this guy's neck. It's like involuntary. You didn't mean to do it. But yeah, can you roll a frenzy check for me as well?
Oh, I don't have full hunger.
I know you don't, but it was a messy critical, so.
Rude. I got 1 success.
You're not.
Well, this guy's dying.
Yeah, effectively.
This poor bastard.
You can no longer resist either. I'm probably not playing it exactly by book, but I love it. And you start drinking too. You let go of Barnabas, and if you want to go back in, you can.
Yeah. I'll probably let him pull me back after the initial pulling me away, and then see him go in and just go fuck it and go into the other side as well.
You bastard! He wasn't trying to help me. He was just stealing my kill.
I was just trying to share a meal with my longest friend. I'm looking forward to when we have to explain this down the line.
Well, you both feed. I will update your hunger for you. We will switch back to Madame and Hero.
I don't have to. This is great.
Oh, I'm starting a fire to hide the fact we did this.
But that could kill more people.
There's no one else in the house.
Dear Lord. Oh,
I
dear
don't
Lord.
think
I'm not
that
sure we
far
can be
ahead.
friends with them anymore.
You don't know they've done that, thankfully.
First off, I had some superficial willpower damage, so I found on page 158 at the beginning of a session, character can remove an amount of superficial damage up to their composure or resolve. Use the highest. So can I take that away, please?
Yes, you can. Yes.
I get 2 willpower back.
You do.
Thank you for finding that.
Does sleeping have any effect on our health?
Oh, yes.
Not really. Well, you can get willpower back, and you can. Have you got wounds?
Just from that fight, I've got 2 marks against the health.
Okay, we can use. You can do a rouse check to heal 1 superficial damage. I can't remember if it was.
I think you get 1 when you wake up. Oh, I need to find it.
Oh yeah, I should have. All the rules I was reading today,
Oh.
I should have read this one.
Okay. Anyway, Madam will wake up to hear Hero in the shower. Just going about his daily life, not murdering people.
I will open up a window and see if I can see the pizza shop on the corner from our hero's flat.
It's
You'll be
hard
able
to
to
make
use the
out
surveillance.
just about. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
on the cameras you can. Yeah.
Yeah, on the cameras. Yeah, then is Stu there?
Yeah, he seems to be.
I assume there's a key in the door, and I'm just popping out, so I'll just pop down and get Stu and bring him back up to the flat.
Okay. Yep. He'll nod. He won't say much. He looks quite tired. Bags under his eyes. And follows you up. Yeah, so the van belongs to some business. King's Brewery. But I don't understand why a brewery would be watching you.
It's a cover, but go on.
What is it though? It's a legit business from what I can see.
Anyone can take someone's van.
And it was just a sticker.
Oh, you're out the shower. Hello, you're out the shower.
Oh no. What I mean is this is registered to that business. That van is not registered to an individual. It's registered to the brewery. King's Brewery and Distillery are the parent company is Pentex, if that means anything to you. Didn't mean anything to me anymore. Big player. Definitely not a microbrewery. Big player. Recently opened a UK branch, American company. Pretty much the biggest in the States from what I hear.
Is this Pentex or Kings of...
No, Pentex seems to be the parent company of Kings. I don't know what Pentex do.
Whilst I'm showering, Hero, could you do some Googling? You know,
yes,
Stu. Hero, Stu, Hero.
All right.
I'm not used to offering people things. Do you want a coffee?
Yeah, that'd be spot on. 3 sugars, black, please.
I'll see what I can do, and there'll be like an old jar of coffee. It's not the best, but it'll do. Just instant coffee, and he'll rummage around in drawers, and he'll find like the little packets of sugar. But he'll make him a coffee, and then he'll get to googling. Whilst Madam's in the shower, though, he will also go rummaging around in his room. He'll come out fully dressed, black dress pants, black dress shirt, and he'll also be holding like a bundle of what looks like black silk. And he'll, if Madam's in the shower, she might just notice an arm just kind of pop in, put down this pile of fabric and like extract itself. In case you need a change of clothes, Madam. And then get back to googling.
Okay.
If you want the change of clothes, it is a pair of silk black wrap trousers, so they're a bit more flowy, and they've got a minimalist emerald green paisley pattern on them, and a black silk shirt, which, whilst it's a masculine cut, if you tuck it in, leave a bit of cleavage, it can still be quite feminine. So he's done the best he could.
Oh yeah, she'd managed to style it up, and yeah. I mean, I'm not cosplaying that because I don't wear trousers. But yeah.
I was like, he won't have a dress. This is the fanciest he will get. So if I'm looking up the information,
see what you find out.
Do I need to roll anything?
No. To be honest, if you just Google Pentex, you get like 3 million sort of results on the search engine. They are a massive multinational corporation. They have businesses. The States, they seem to own any kind of business you can think of, from toy companies, food companies, oil companies. They literally have everything. They must have 20, 30, 40. You can't really tell. There's so many results, but they must have all these different subsidiaries. And King's Breweries and Distilleries is one of those subsidiaries.
Can I tell where the closest base for them would be?
There is a new what would you call it? A new head office opened in London recently. as they've recently moved into the UK market. And from what
And are
you
we
can
talking like
see,
London City, like London proper, not surrounding area?
Yes. Yeah, very expensive place to have a head office. You need some serious money for a brewery. That's kind of bizarre. They have massive. They're pretty much the main provider of alcohol in America. You find lots of articles about billions and billions of pounds of profit, but you also find articles about alcohol ruining people's lives and all this stuff that like there is with a lot of corporations. There's kind of the money side comes up, but also the negative impact on society. A lot of people seem to have an issue with this business, but other than that, don't really find anything else.
I would also like a list of their kind of stock prices, their share prices, in case I decide to invest in them at a later date, and a list
Okay.
of their any stakeholders that I can find out about that are UK based.
What do you want to find?
I'm just looking for who has some kind of say or some kind of sway in this company, who might be able to call some of their guys to do whatever they're told. I'm not thinking I'm going to find anything. I'm searching, so I've got something to show.
That's probably a bit more. So I would say roll investigation plus intelligence if you're trying to find a person. I will let you use technology plus intelligence if you want.
Thank you. Same. Oh
Okay.
no.
Okay. You don't find. Yeah, that's not. I'm not gonna. The beast's not gonna smash the computer. Don't worry.
Good.
You don't find any real people of importance, but you do find a rep that's local. There's a phone number if you're interested in an account with King's Brewery. Then please contact Martin Davis at this number, or you can email me here. And it's like a page, and you can see this sort of sales rep, sort of spiky, overly gelled hair, like a kind of cheap suit and a tie, with that kind of like, that kind of smile that just doesn't look genuine at all.
As soon as you said rep, I was like, I'll write that down so we can take it with us in case we decide that we'll make contact with the company, even if not quite convinced it's a company thing at the moment.
Okay.
First off, page 127, superficial health damage at the beginning of a session. Vampires can remove a number of superficial damage levels from their health tracker by rousing the blood, so it's the same.
Yeah, rouse the blood.
Yeah.
Depending on how hungry you are after what we've just seen, you might want to consider it. We'll just, unless there's anything else, we'll just switch back to Gerard and Barnabas. I've reduced your hunger, both of you. I'm gonna probably give you a stain for that. You find yourselves, you kind of come to, there is this young guy dead on the floor. He sort of knocked the board off as he fell. There's chopped carrots and a knife lying in this, what's left of his blood. There isn't actually a lot. You didn't spill much. Only when Gerard pulled your head away did any blood really go anywhere. And then it was arterial, it was messy. And he's dead.
What did we do?
You started it. I will. I will put that line of defense for myself out there, but I didn't think I was as hungry as I was.
Oh my. Z can't find out about this.
Don't worry, we can do something about it, I'm sure.
How can we cover this up?
Well, it may not be the everyone's most preferential style of cover-up, but this fellow was in the midst of preparing a meal, so making it seem like food was left unattended and a fire broke out would probably damage his remains enough to hide the fact that we gnawed at him somewhat.
I will have to.
You can wait outside if you like. You seem far more perturbed
Well,
than...
If this is my fault, then I'll help.
It's respectable, Barnabas, but it's not necessary.
Let's just do it.
Right, well, Gerard will faff around trying to do one or two little things to try and provoke a fire. Maybe knocking a towel or two in an inopportune place, maybe like half in the oven and close the door on it. And maybe stick a few little things where they would provoke fires, although they probably wouldn't make a great deal of sense. And then after a while, he would just be like, "Oh, fuck it," and then he'd probably just get something lighted on fire on the stove, and then just start like dabbing it around on curtains and the like.
I'll pull the corpse next to the oven and make sure the clothes catch fire.
And now we have to. Well, we could do with accelerating this somehow, and I don't really know how we could do that. I'm not quite a particularly good chemist, despite my fondness for cocktails.
As the fire starts to take, it's taking a lot of strength to stay there. It is terrifying to you.
We just need to leave it for a minute or two and call the human authorities, and they'll find it. We just need to disguise what happened to it.
We don't need to call the human authorities. A neighbor will do that. We should use the time to make ourselves scarce, and also give the fire enough time to do a significant amount of damage to the house that will be fine.
Let's get away from here.
Back into the sewers.
Okay, how
So
do you leave?
Oh, carry on.
No, how do you leave? Are you...
Very quietly.
Yes, very, very quietly, and I'll try and find a spot that's a little out of the way where we could probably find sewer access, like an alley down the side of a shop or something. And pull open the lid, the sewer grate, and then kind of just like almost stuff Barnabas down the manhole.
Okay. So Barnabas, I'm going to give you 2 stains for that, and Gerard just 1, because you only really joined in.
So that's 1 hit to my humanity, isn't it?
No. It's a stain. So if you have 7 humanity, you can, once you get 3 stains, then you have to do a remorse check, I think it's called, and that will decide whether you lose humanity or hold on to it.
Okay.
So you have 2. I'm not sure where you mark them on these electronic sheets, so I'm sorry about that. Just maybe put them in notes in other.
It looks like if you select the click on the square, it puts a dash across it, which is a stain, I guess, and then.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. We will. Sorry, Tom, were you saying something?
No, I was just saying if you just click on the box once, it gets across.
Okay.
And it's a stain, I think.
Yeah. So the house begins to burn as you hide yourselves from the world, skulk through the darkness. As you do, as you're leaving, you see this little white hatchback car pull up outside the house as the flames are really starting to go. You see a young girl, maybe 20, 21, red hair, back in a ponytail. She's sort of wearing a uniform, looks like she works in a gym or something, and you just see her get out of the car and just stand there with this horrified look on her face as she just watches her house go up. And then she looks and sees a car on the driveway, and she just begins to sprint, open the door. She's trying to get in, but the flames are too much.
Oh, fuck me. I will do my Mask of 1,000 Faces to look like Mr. Generic Man.
Okay.
And which
Mr.
I think is the rouse
Mr.
check.
Generic. Mr. Generic.
Yep. That will be his name. I think it's a rouse check, but it's not letting me open the feature on my sheet.
Just run in, grab her. I'll follow her in and try and pull her away from the fire.
I mean, she's not gone in, but she's just stood at the door, and you can hear her sort of shouting, "Tom, Tom!"
That's mean, Matt.
I know. It's a game of personal horror, and I'm afraid your hunger increases, Gerard. But
Okay,
you do indeed. Oh, you rolled it twice. No, that was from 2 minutes ago. Yeah, your hunger increases by 1. But you do look like Graham Nerrick now, Mr. G Nerrick.
Okay, good. Well, now that I'm Mr. Generic, I will kind of like rush over and try and drag her away from the burning house.
Okay, yeah. Between you pull her back, and she's like, "Oh, you got to let Tom's in there. Tom's, can you call the fire brigade? Tom is in there."
I don't have a moment.
I do.
Phone.
And I will make that awkward phone call that I told Barnabas not to make a minute ago. And then I will usher her to her neighbor across the road and be like, "You have to stay here and not rush into a burning building, despite the..."
She will just drop down onto the ground. She's sitting on the grass. You see her sort of look up at the house as it's really starting to go now. And she sort of catches something on the roof line of the house. Just stares off at it in disbelief. There's a raven up there. Look. Do you wait with her? Or do you go?
Till we hear the sirens and then slink off.
Yeah, it takes a few minutes, 5 minutes or so, but you hear the sirens. And you slink off.
I'll give her like a sympathetic pat on the shoulder. Apologize. And then go.
You don't have to apologize. You didn't do anything. You didn't do this, did you?
No, I didn't. And then I will blink off into the sewers.
We shall switch back to Madame and Hero.
Stop thinking this game is the fact that you've just consoled and tried to look after the person whose life you've just ruined.
I've consoled the widow whose husband we had just murdered.
You've probably still got his blood on your clothes.
I was thinking that whilst we were consoling her.
Dark enough that it can't be seen.
If it wasn't dark enough already, Matt gave him my name.
I give him your name.
I was going to call him Thomas, but
yeah, he called him Tom.
it came out as Tom, I think, because I was looking at your name when I said it.
Oh.
And then the woman is a young redhead, which sounds like Gerard's daughter.
Yes.
Was she the redhead? And also worked at a gym. So just to bring Jim back into it.
Jim, I'm very. What can I say? I'm very impressionable.
Subliminal messaging works on you. Good to know.
It clearly does. Yeah.
I need to get one of those obey posters.
Whilst Madam's being caught up on everything by Stu and that whatnot, Hero will. There's a mini fridge on the counter in the weird little kitchen unit. He'll open that, pull out some Tupperware, open it, sniff it. Stu, do you want some cottage pie?
Green. It's not supposed to be green.
No, it's still good. I only got it
Please
2
don't
days ago.
Poison stew.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay,
Cottage pie's not. It's. If it starts to. Never mind. It doesn't smell right. Can you not smell that?
I don't know how it's supposed to smell. I've never eaten cottage pie.
Why have you bought it then?
I didn't buy it. I was given it, and he'll empty it out into the bin and start washing up the Tupperware.
Who gives you? Never mind.
Doesn't matter.
Thanks for the offer, though. I appreciate it. It's very thoughtful of you. But I've eaten. I ate before I came out.
Good.
So.
Actually, what day of the night week is it?
It's the day after Halloween, isn't it? It's the 1st of November. So 1st of November 2022. Yeah, that felt really harsh. Sorry, everyone, especially Tom.
Easy.
His hunger was
I've been waiting for.
Full hunger. Yeah, it's bad when it happens. Sorry.
Gerard and Barnabas are in the sewer, and Gerard goes, I guess Guy Fawkes Day came early for that household.
It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Oh, shit. That in my head is Tuesdays off. Thank you for being here. So, slightly concerned about the van. Could you just... I have watchmen, so could I ask Stu to get the watchman that's on that day?
Sorry, madame. Am I missing something? It's a van from a brewery outside our club. Why are you concerned?
Because they were taking photos. Because some acquaintances of ours have also come in touch with someone potentially looking into them, and this whole matter is reminiscent of a group that are kind of very wary of. So I am on a high alert.
Should I be worried?
Vigilant.
I mean, I do this job to put Isabel through school. Do I need to worry?
As long as you don't give the impression to anyone that there's a need to worry and that you're anything other than an employee, I'm sure that you will be fine. We just need to protect our assets. This could be nothing.
I mean, I can put some, inquiries in.
I know.
Ask for some prices.
Yeah, the club ain't open today usually, so I was going. In my head, someone else sort of general manages Stu's security. So if you can check with whoever that person is, let's call her Kitty, if we already stock King's brewery, and if not, yes, let's set up a meeting.
You don't stock it, no.
And secondly, can we have whoever is on security for the building keep an eye out for that van and let me know if it turns up again.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, I'll pass the message to Kitty, and if that's everything, I was going to get some sleep.
Yeah, of course. You look tired.
Yeah, I feel it. Right. You know my number?
Wait. This might help with the tiredness and other things. And she is going to roll back her sleeve and slice into her wrist and offer him a drink.
Okay. In front of Hero.
Hero politely kind of turns away.
He'll look at Hero as if trying to figure out, and realizes that Hero clearly knows as well. And yeah, he will take your arm gently and drink. For as long as you let him.
Sleep. But just for now, whilst we're on high alert, and I apologize for this, leave your phone on loud.
Always is. Always is. Should I see if I can get us some shooters, or?
You know where we could?
Well, no, but I can put some feelers out.
Yes, why not?
Right. Okay. He will go to the door, open it, and then leave. Close it behind him.
Hero, shall we go to Elysium?
Is there anywhere you want to check on the way there? Do you want to drive past the Snake Pit just in case they're still staking it out?
I have people there who watch it day and night, and now they know to let me know. I don't want to attract their attention if they're looking for your car. There's nothing on Tuesday nights, so it should be fine. Have you heard? Sorry.
Do you think it's safe to drive around in my car? Should we find another form of transport?
I think it should be fine for now. If we need a quick getaway, you're probably more reliable than an Uber.
Could always try and borrow a car.
I just think we need to find out what's going on first.
That's fair. And sorry, I interrupted you before. What were you going to say?
I was just going to ask if you knew anyone that fell when London fell to the Inquisition. I'm a bit concerned
was
this looks like them.
2012. 10 years, well, at this point, 10 years ago.
Will I have been around London at that point? Probably. Would I know anyone who...
It's up to you.
I don't think so. He
I think 10 years ago is about when you
very
arrived.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he makes friends and loses friends very quickly. Like, he's not a long-term relationship kind of person. I mean, a few names come to mind, but none that would be willing to talk to me.
You should talk to Z about this. It's frankly stinks of them. And that is very worrying.
What do you think this could be? Really? Is there are there any names, any considerations? Could they be representing Coventry or Warwickshire?
It's also a possibility. Our kind don't. This was tech heavy. You said you saw a laptop, I saw a lens. Gerard said they had sensors. That is
Sounds like
sort of technique the Inquisition use.
Also, from what we've seen in the last night, do we think it could be within the capabilities of what we saw underneath the cathedral?
Yes, I mean, we use our phones. We're quite lax about it. It wouldn't be hard for... I know that they said... I think that's... They say that's the way the Second Inquisition got wind of who was kindred living in London, because we just got lazy with our devices.
Not be too much of a coincidence, though. Just when everything else is kicking off.
I knew people that were involved, that died. It's just... my mind immediately goes to that. You're right, it could be something else.
I mean, Yorkshire maybe had more involvement. Maybe we've thrown a spanner in their works.
Maybe those people, or whatever the operation they were running down there, could help look into this. If it is tech related, I don't know.
You're right, we should get to the Elysium, we should talk to Z. We should find out what's going on.
If Hero is happy to, I will just be ready to go.
Okay. You're
Head
heading
off.
to the Elysium site. Okay. How are you travelling? Just in an Uber or?
No, we'll take my
taxi?
car.
Take your car. Okay. Barnabas, Gerard,
Hello.
how are you proceeding?
We're going to skulk our way through the sewers, avoiding motion sensors to get to Elysium.
Okay. Could you please roll me a because you know about them now, so you can do investigation plus intelligence. I'll let you do awareness plus wits if you like.
Oh, for love of... Can I stop rolling those bloody beast markers tonight, please?
Oh, fuck, I got one too.
Oh, okay. You actually both got enough successes. You do see more of these little motion sensors. Someone has clearly drilled a hole in the wall and then inserted them in. And just in the right light, you can just see the very faintest line of a laser light. But you do avoid them. You don't trigger any of them. and you make your way to the Elysium site. It appears to be shut up at the moment. The normal door that you would go in does seem to be closed. Gerard and Barnabas, as you get there. Madame, Hero, are you just parking out front, or are you?
If we don't see Z out front, I might suggest we go round the back like we went in yesterday.
Okay. Yep, you drive around the back to the delivery entrance. It doesn't seem to be open, but you do see the young guy that was there before. Stood with the shutter gate, sees the car pull up. Doesn't open the gate yet. I think after a few minutes, Gerard and Barnabas would walk round, to the other entrance, and you would see them approaching. You will see Hero's car pulled up, engine still running. Young guy stood at the shutter door on the delivery entrance. What would you like to do?
I'll open the window, lean out, and be like, kid, have you noticed any strange vans around lately?
No.
You sure?
Good on. It's a delivery entrance.
And yes, you get deliveries from vans that you're expecting. Have there been any vans that you haven't been expecting?
No.
Okay. Can you let us in then?
Yeah. Z, Mimi. Can't remember if Sarah's in there as well. But yeah, they're all in, and he starts pulling the chain. Raises the gate. And you go in. Yeah, you will see Mimi and Z stood there. Quite a large, almost like a warehouse space, and there's an upper floor, and you can see a young woman just leaning on the railings watching. She's not saying much. She is rather cheesily, as vampires often do. She's wearing sunglasses inside in the dark. She's got a white, there's no blood stain, but she's got sort of a sleeveless white top. She's quite small and slight, probably about 5'1". Cropped hair. She's probably quite pretty, and she's just leaning on the railing watching. And Zia and Mimi will turn.
Sorry the party's cancelled. We have to talk about a potential problem.
Okay. Everyone in, and we'll shut the door. I don't know if you know Sarah, but I've called her in for a bit of security. I'm sure you appreciate that, darling. She's probably the handiest out of all of us, and just a precaution. So,
There's a van outside my club. Someone taking pictures. And
Motion
Gerard?
sensors scattered throughout almost seemingly the entirety of the sewers.
I don't know what you think, but my first thought was Inquisition. And I will instinctively sort of go to squeeze Mimi's hand.
Yeah, Mimi will stay. She's quite stoic. She's got a lot of makeup on and this huge hairpiece, multicolored hair. She is very quiet, not giving anything away right now. And Z will.
well, we haven't heard from Eva since you alerted us, so she's either aware that we know she was involved, or something's happened to her. Spoke to Lowther. It's not heard from her either. But they are Ventru, so that may be a lie. The only Ventru we haven't talked to is probably Fletcher. But he's not really anyone of significance, but...
James and Agatha?
Well, their time's limited anyway. If Ava's gone, then their status is going to change. And they're probably a security risk. As much as I hate to say it.
I do have to inquire. But considering that it was myself and Madame that were seemingly largely targeted, could Ava have perchance informed people of where at least 2 vampires might be residing?
Not out of the question, is it? I'd say it's a good theory. But who's she informed?
Presumably
Is it
we
police?
know
You really think it's Second Inquisition? How would she have a contact there?
Well, given what you showed us yesterday, presumably you'd know if it was Second Inquisition.
That is likely true, but I also can't imagine that the local police would be drilling motion sensors into the sewer walls.
Well, Max hasn't told us anything about raids on your club or any attacks in the sewers. I assure you we would have told you if we'd heard that.
He was talking about bringing so many snakes when we went to meet him.
Guess you can't have visions about everything.
Maybe we miss some because we don't understand where he's coming from. Not that he seems to. So what do we do?
They were going round in his van. I've asked one of my people to set up a meeting just with a rep. If they turn up with this van, maybe we can get hold of one of the people that's in there. Just find out what's going on. It's risky, if it is Inquisition, but they don't know, we know if it is.
I don't understand how you think Ava has got contacts with the Inquisition. That's what's eluding me here.
Just the timing
Police,
of it all.
maybe?
Would she need
She has some contacts in the police.
Could she just send some kind of anonymous tip somewhere?
Would you know where to send a tip for the Second Inquisition? If I knew where they were, I'd burn the place down.
I could probably find a way to contact them on the internet. With enough time and a bit of digging.
Would be
You just
careful
need
doing
enough
that.
rumours.
It might not be Inquisition. Hero said it could be Coventry involved.
Why would they be involved? We sorted that. You sorted that. You put that right.
But what if there's more going on?
What if they wanted us to fail?
Why of all the people, why Gerard and Madam?
We were the two involved
generally,
who have set addresses. Sorry, yeah?
well, I was just going to say, I've not had any link with you two previously to any great extent. Have you done anything like this previously? Do you have any shared enemies?
I
What's
don't
the
know
link between you and
Gerard's
Gerard?
as well as you might think. He stops by the club sometimes.
I largely tend to try and keep to myself. And if I'm feeding on someone, I tend to go for either the people who are excessively high or asleep at home. So I don't think I would alienate anyone in particular.
So
You
then,
feed at her
what
club?
would cause them to... Sorry.
Well,
No.
well, I'd remove them from her club, obviously.
That's our relationship in a nutshell.
So why would anyone target those two if it's not due to something that has happened within the last night? That's the only thing that really draws the four of us and yourselves together.
Well,
And the only other people we have been dealing with has been this issue in Warwickshire.
it's yes, and we told you our suspicions, and Ava hasn't been found since we arrived back. So perhaps we ought to check the hotel ourselves and see if we can find her.
I'm not gonna lie. I think, yeah, Warwickshire probably would have benefited from that blood contract being breached, but
I mean, it sounds like they
I'm not.
also benefited from it being fulfilled. So
I believe more so. I believe the benefits were a lot more for it being fulfilled because they have that artifact that he seems so desperate to get hold of. But Markov is, other than Ava and Lowther, probably the only people that know about Max because Markov's work has made Max's visions more accurate,
But perhaps
even if it's made him more confused. He keeps going on about it ever since. Apparently, all he's talked about is snakes today. So far.
But surely, though, if Markov is aware of Max, you could have a situation where perhaps he would prefer to have Max in Warwickshire.
I don't think he will protect us from Warwickshire. The enchantment that Markov's provided has extended the range of his visions.
We need to
So
know
he
what the
protects
snakes
Croydon.
are.
did you spend the night at your club, madam?
No, I stayed with Hero when I saw the van.
I mean, it's sort of. Should we check your club? I mean, it sounds a bit silly, but it's the snake pit.
My club remained undisturbed. It's possible that my club, my subway tunnel remained undisturbed. I will pretend I didn't say subway.
Yeah, I've not been back since. We can check. Feels a bit on the nose.
Would it
Well,
be
I
worth
know,
it?
but I mean, it's worth ruling out.
Would it be worth talking to Max before we go? See if we can make anything else of his.
Yeah, what exactly is he saying about snakes?
How literal are his messages normally?
That's a good question. I mean, if he starts talking about blood and death, we know an attack's coming.
So it can be more illustrative, more allegorical.
He's had visions as long as I've known him, and most of them make no sense. It's only when they're violent that they make sense, or they make sense with hindsight, which, let's face it, anyone can do. If it wasn't for the attacks, I wouldn't believe he had any powers at all. I believe he was just spouting nonsense. Some people think he's a fraud.
Well, there's blood and guts in his vision. There's some violence ensuing, so snakes could literally just mean betrayal. That's sort of traditionally where they're built into metaphor, isn't it?
Yeah, that, and it's some clans are associated with it, right?
Settites? Here?
Also mean that maybe in what we've done, we've drawn attention from someone or something that we probably shouldn't have.
Maybe. Max will be very desirable to other Camarilla princes, to the Anarchs, to Sabat, to the Settites. Someone that is known to predict attacks is so precious. We kept him secret for this long, but I fear that if Ava has run off, then why would she protect him anymore? I begin to think she introduced him because she thought he would be a liability, and unfortunately for her, he was exactly what we needed.
I think we need to talk to Max and hear exactly what he's saying. We need to check out the snake pit, you're right. And we need to go to the Rosewood.
He could be talking about your club.
I'm concerned if Ava has left, what has she told her ghouls?
Do we need to move him?
I feel like there is not, given that what we know about Ava right now and the fact she's missing and what we spoke to you about last night, I don't believe it would be it might be incautious not to protect him further.
At the same time, it may
be playing into their hands.
It may arouse a bit too much suspicion if you attempted to move him immediately.
And where would we find security in, what you've got down there at the moment?
Well, this is the thing. This whole thing is a house of cards. That we don't have that much protection. We really don't. Him being secret was what protected us. I mean, he might predict them breaking him out if someone does, but would you tell me if you saw someone rescuing you? Some of the Malkavians have protested about him being kept in there. They think it's cruel. They think he should be free.
Any of the Malkavians in Corridon? I don't know if there are any. I can't remember.
Well, there's only one or two that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
There's that young girl with the strange attitude to blood.
Maybe I think we don't have enough information yet. We keep him here is what I would say. Maybe increase our security. And at least maybe she was security for the Rosewood. We don't have to tell her about Max, just that to guard this place.
Do you trust her? She worked for Ava.
But didn't she work for Madame first?
Yeah?
Well, I'm asking if you trust her.
Allegiances
She's a
can
hothead.
change.
No, I don't trust her. But I don't think she worked. I don't think she had an allegiance with either.
Is she
Her
the kind
allegiance
of
is to her
person?
sister and herself.
Is she the kind of person it's better to keep her close?
Yes. She can be impulsive and risky to work with, but she is strong. And I think if you play to what she wants, which is protection for her sister, protection within the Camarilla, and you can have someone manage her without going insane, then she can be useful.
Well, thank you for volunteering, Madame. You've
That's a nice
experience with managing her, so I would appreciate it if you would do that again.
There's another avenue of investigation. If we feel, if you feel, Prince, that Markov and Warwickshire are unlikely to be behind this, then there are two kindred in Warwickshire that may be able to help find Ava.
I'm listening.
They're a source of information. I can put feelers out, or
You're talking about the Nosferatu we met.
talking about Seren and Nathaniel. Yes.
They would want information as payment. What would you offer them?
Well, let's
Boon. If the information's good, a boon.
we can ask them if
Maybe
they'll do
even a safe haven, if they're useful.
I certainly wouldn't begrudge having a few more Nosferatu in Croydon.
We can put the offer to them. They were
They would
certainly
need,
very resourceful.
well, that's good. We need resourceful, but we're also, even with the deaths, there are too many kindred for Croydon. This was the whole reason I made the deal to extend Max's site over a larger part of London. I was hoping we could even maybe take some of London back so that the territory matches the number of kindred we have. But
I'm not sure they'd
I
want
know
to
some.
leave, but they would certainly. The boon. We could put two of them with a boon to start with and see if they're willing.
If we're going to keep this place held together, we need to expand territory. We need to take some of London back so that we're not all squeezed in, so that we've got more places to run if we need to, so that we've got more places we can fortify. But most importantly, so that we've got more allies. I feel like other than you six in here, can't trust anyone anymore. I mean, can I trust Lowther?
Probably
That is
not.
also a concern. Lava knows everything that Max knows and more. He knows things about the people that go visit him.
Thanks for the follow. Thanks for spotting it, Davey.
How
Yeah,
do you know
That's why we need
Lava? How
David.
did he get involved?
well, Lowther is old. Like, really old. Some of the rumours are that it's only rumours. I don't know it's true, but apparently Queen Anne was his sire. May just be a rumour.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, the old Prince of London.
What would he be doing here, guarding a... Ugh.
Yeah, that's my concern. I mean, we're not going to fool ourselves into thinking the Ventrue don't think London is theirs, right?
Right.
I can
I have an
imagine.
idea.
Okay.
We need to keep the Rosewood as an asset. It's a smart operation. It brings in money that I'm not a part of it, but I know there's very little going round. If we've lost Ava, someone needs to be running it. Someone needs to be controlling ghouls. Offer it to Lalva.
With what? Keeping him sweet.
To keep him sweet. In the meantime,
You can buy obedience.
Giving him domain, giving him capital, giving him people.
in the meantime,
Give-
ask Sarah and Nathaniel about Ava and Lauda.
I believe I have Saren's phone number.
Okay.
That being said, in terms of people, what if you can change the allegiance of a ghoul? James, he so desperately wanted to be a Ventrue. He was so loyal to Ava. If we can keep up that deal, he will follow Lowther, I'm sure. But Agatha, if we had someone who was bonded to one of us in there,
Mm.
that would feel like we at least still had eyes on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you permission. But
Me?
well, whoever you decide. James, no, I don't want him to be a vampire. But the ghouls, yeah. It's going to take time, though. The bond will wear off, but...
Let's start to one. Maybe Eva told him, maybe she didn't, but yeah, they'll start to question. So we should get in there now.
Do you think we should give Lowther a tile? He's always been the self-proclaimed primogen. I mean, he's older than Eva. He either doesn't care for power or he's downplaying it. He's a Ventrue, I suspect he's downplaying it.
We don't want to give him too much power at once.
I mean, you
No.
can't alert him to our suspicions on Eva either. So until we find out what's happened to her, you can't usurp her entirely.
Mhm.
If he's in allegiance with her, doing so would alert him and alert her.
Wow, it really is a house of cards, isn't it? I feel like I'm inviting our enemies in rather than pushing them out.
Maybe if we do the reconnaissance first, if Gerard contacts Sarah and then Nathaniel, asks for information on Lauda and Ava, location and any information, we subvert the ghouls, one of the ghouls, in the hotel, and then we go and see if we can find. First of all, I think we should visit your club, madam, because I know it's obvious, but let's rule out the obvious first, and then visit the hotel and see if we can find Ava.
No, I understand the logic. Do we want to speak to Max first?
He's been, according to Lowther, he's been quite disturbed since you all met him yesterday.
Would Lava be able to ask him maybe a couple questions in our stead?
Sure.
Just want
I mean,
more
you can go see him
concrete.
if you want. I'm just worried if we distract him too much, he won't see what he needs to see.
Fair enough. Shall we just speak to Lava for now?
Sure. Well, he's downstairs. He got here before us.
Shall we go, everyone?
If you'd like, I can stay up here and contact the Nosferatu in Warwickshire while you go and talk to Lowther.
Yeah, actually, I might stay up here too and fill Sarah in on the details of the van.
So, what exactly do we want to find out from Max?
What they're saying exactly about snakes?
We can ask Lowther if he's
Yes.
any more of the snakes. Yeah, I think that's fair. It shouldn't alert him to too much if he is. It's a suspicious thing that he's been talking about several times, so we'll tip our hand to Lowther. Hope.
Okay. Who's going downstairs then?
Looks like Hero and Barnabas.
Okay. Okay. You see that
Our
you
first
you
little
head
bit of alone time.
you head through the gallery, through the huge pieces of art. You head through the large room covered in street art, ceiling, floor, walls, windows, everything, and then you head into the last room. You see the huge panelled bookcase slid aside. You head down the stone chamber and down the stone steps into that rough-hewn cavern carved out of the rock, and there is the huge barred gate, iron gate, banded, reinforced, and you see the familiar face of Lowther, wearing the same purple overcoat, his three-piece suit and hat, and he sees you approach.
Can I take his hand in greeting and kiss it rather than the other way around that we were doing the other day? I just want to keep it
Okay.
going, but I want to change it up.
Okay. Okay. You kind of go to take his hand and he just pulls it away. Evening.
Just doff a fictional cap at him as we approach as well.
Hero will
Can I
just
help
take a
you?
step back. Meant no
What's-
offence.
None taken. I think you'll understand why I'm not going to trust anyone right now. Max has
fair.
been very distressed since you visited yesterday. Very distressed.
Yes, we heard that he's continued to talk of snakes.
Yeah, he said the snakes are coming back. What did you say to him yesterday? I'm seriously concerned that if there could be an attack and he will not miss it, he's very distracted by whatever you said to him yesterday.
Very little.
He mostly spoke to us.
We introduced ourselves, and he was frighteningly insightful about parts of my past, and then Gerard. But that's it. And then he started talking about snakes.
He hasn't stopped talking about snakes.
In fact, that's why we've been sent down. Madam asked Madam and Prince Z were wondering if he'd spoken any more of snakes. To talk to you to find out if he had.
We don't want to disturb him. We don't want to cause any more trouble. We're now just trying to find out what is going on.
I don't know what's going on. Whatever you said to him has caused... He is distressed. Well, it's hard to tell if he's distressed, but he's confused and he's non-stop talking about snakes. Whatever you said to... If you can go in and say something that will end this, then I will let you in, but I need to know what it was you said that set him off.
We don't know what we could have said. It seriously doesn't make any sense to us. I don't know if I would want to risk it.
We could go in and try and talk to him, but I don't know what if we set him off. We don't know how or why. I literally just greeted him and told him who I was, and he spoke of my past, and then started commenting about snakes, but sort of an unrelated comment, if that makes sense.
It's almost as if we've taken a black cloud in with us that we were unaware of.
Seems that way.
Has he ever talked of snakes before or reacted similarly about anything else?
No.
This is completely new.
He has literally been climbing the walls in there.
Is there anything other than snakes that he's talked about in the last day?
He just says the snakes are coming. Snakes are here. That we've let the snakes in.
Would you like me to try and calm him?
I'll be honest, I'm staying out here today. If you want to go in, you're welcome. He is, he is agitated. And when he's agitated, he lashes out.
Hero will put his hand on Barnabas's arm and just be like, I might normally be one for stirring the pot, but I'm not sure we should interfere any further in this.
Those are stone walls in there. He's climbing them. There's no handholds. He's making handholds. I mean, you can go in, Barnabas, if you want. But if he kicks off, I'm not letting you out.
And I am not going in with you.
I can't risk him escaping.
Did you write down any of what he said with the snakes? Was it just that they've returned?
The snakes are coming back. We've let the snakes in. The snakes are here. Is what I've got so far.
About sums it up.
In that order.
Maybe not in that order. If you look
through, he hasn't touched the ground since he woke. It could just be an episode. It could be.
I'll look through.
Yeah, you can see, you see this. I'll share a picture for the stream. You see this. It's kind of late 30s. He's not particularly big. He's kind of I think he's about 5'10". He's not muscular. He's not strong. You can see he's not wearing sunglasses at the moment. You can see his eyes, and you can see that he's clearly quite blind. You see his white cane on the floor. You can see a table that was covered in books filled with braille, which has just been smashed into pieces, and these books are just strewn all over the. Just put put his haven on. And he is halfway up the wall. He has a hand, like literally is gripping. You can see these sort of huge stone blocks, and you can see that he has cracked them and made a handhold where there's not. And you can see lots of these stones are all broken. I mean, it's not common for Malkavians that you're aware of to be that strong, but he clearly seems to be incredibly strong. And you can't really make out what he's saying, but he's muttering something to himself over and over.
Barnabas, I don't feel good about this. If we make this worse, he's so important to the safety in Croydon.
But we can get information that helps us stop it.
Or we could cause the Second Inquisition. They seem to take it very seriously that he is often all that stands between our safety and us all meeting our final end.
I don't think we're a danger to him.
No, but I think any trauma that we carry with us, anything that he sees through us, could be a danger. Were we able to say anything to him yesterday that placated him?
I mean, he seemed to speak to me about something other than snakes. That's the only thing that's making me
snakes
think.
to us, but he barely said it. Really? He had whole other conversations around that before and after.
That's what I'm thinking.
So
he spoke
why-
to Gerard and I about something else. So I wonder if me going in there might distract him and bring some lucidity.
I will trust your judgment. I get the feeling that you've done more of this kind of work than I have.
I'll do it. I'll go in, but if I'm not out in a few minutes, then don't open the door until he calms.
Sure. Have you at least fed recently? Are you prepared for this?
Fed.
You sure? I hope you've got a plan.
Remember the Great Gatsby? His sister was called Rebecca, and he cared deeply for her.
I'll give it a go.
If you need me, I'm on the other side of the door.
Okay. Allow the sort of watches you have this conversation, and kind of looks at Barnabas with a bit of respect. Doesn't verbalize it, but you can see him sort of nodding and respecting your courage for going in there. Okay. Put the calm music on. It's not really been working the last few days, but here we go. He will slide back the 2 iron bars, as you recall, and open the door. It's very quiet, despite it being huge and made of iron. Clearly well maintained and oiled, it does not make a sound. And Lowther just gestures for you to step inside. Doesn't say anything. You hear the gentle music drifting in from inside. You can see Max, one hand in the stone, just clinging to the rock about halfway up the wall.
Just step inside and then close the door behind me.
Okay. You hear the bars shut behind you. Hero, you see Lowther shut the bars. He turns to you and do you think I should have told him that the last person he got upset with, he beat them with their own arm? Okay, Barnabas. He doesn't seem to have noticed you there.
Hello, Max.
You see the head spin, the blind eyes looking towards you. Who is it? Who is it?
I'm Barnabas. You met me yesterday and you saw me.
Saw you in the flames. Orange and red. Blood. Tears. Fire.
You see my regret. You hold it in front of me. It causes me pain, but I'm here. I'm here to see if you are okay. I'm here alone.
Why?
Bring the snakes.
See him sniff and listen. You didn't bring the snakes. But they're already here.
Do the snakes have another name, Max?
They have many names. They've changed them over the years. Why are you here?
I'm looking for the snakes. We're looking to rid the prince of the snakes. Your help.
Need to stamp on the snakes. You brought them. You can get rid of them.
I brought them.
You brought them. You wander, you endlessly wander, you never stop. Every day a different hole in the ground. Every day a young, innocent life lost. Just at the start of their journey, like my Rebecca, taken too soon.
Please, Max. The wandering, it's my nature.
I see the blood that you drew. You spilled so little. Your friend too. And I am so hungry. I have not fed today. Do you bring me food? I'll even drink of snakes if you have them. Bring them in.
Which of them would you prefer?
I don't care. I hunger. I saw them. I saw when I was alive that they would come and they would rip open my throat and feed me their own vitae. I saw it all. And I told you, Rebecca, and you would not listen to me. You said I was crazy and that what I saw were just bad dreams, but they came true. Why didn't you believe me? Answer me, snake.
Me? I'm no snake.
Those that slither with snakes are probably snakes. He drops down, lets go of the wall, and just lands. He's looking towards you, but not at you. His eyes are empty. Sightless.
Drop to my knees. And I took a life tonight, and I feel it as much as you see it. It's not what I wanted to do. We're beasts, all of us. We know that. I might sneak, might hide, I might gather information, but I do not betray those who have my trust. I do not slither in the dark. I am Barnabas and I'm here. I only wish to protect this place.
And I only wish to protect you, Rebecca. And he kind of grabs you and pulls you up, and the strength is ridiculous. He literally just like lifts you off the floor and hugs you, and you feel some of your ribs like under tension. They don't quite break, but he's strong.
Try and sort of return the hug as best I can.
Yeah. I'll find the one that made me and the one that killed you. I promise. And then he just lets go and wanders off. Starts feeling around, trying to find a book.
They'll push my luck enough. I'm gonna turn around and knock on the door to leave.
Hero pretty much like pulls you through the doorway.
The two bars open. And you just, as you're closing the door, you'll see Max pick up this braille book and hold it up and say, "Rebecca, this is Ernest Hemingway. I think you'll love this one." And then the door closes and the bars go across.
He breaks my heart.
He sees things I wish he didn't. But I think he's afraid.
Afraid of what?
These snakes he speaks of, he sees his end in them. He thinks we brought them.
Could it be the Inquisition? Has maybe what has gone on over the last few days drawn more attention than we expected?
It might have. Let's go see the prince.
As we're walking up, Barnabas, you know a little bit more about all of this than I do, and I was around for the first Inquisition, but I wasn't really part of it. It was around the time I was arriving in this country. What exactly happened? How did it come to be?
The latest?
Yes. What did they do? Madam mentioned earlier about technology, and I've heard rumours, but could that be it? We've made a few phone calls and we've left our area, and
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think we've done any more than Croydon has normally allowed. But it could be.
it only takes one mess up.
It's true. Convey those fears to the prince. This is why I move around.
Yes, maybe a decade in one place is too much for me as well. I do like it here, though. It never really sleeps. By the way, have you ever been to New York?
I don't often go that far. I stick to Europe mainly. Have you been?
No, I've been thinking about it, though. It seems like a good place to be. I have also wondered about maybe returning to Tokyo. It's not the same vibe, though.
I think I'd like to go there.
It's a bit of a tension, I'm not going to lie. Could work to your advantage, though.
You finish your journey back upstairs. Madame and Gerard are there. See Mimi and Z. And the quiet young girl is still on the balcony above the warehouse. Although now she's sort of sat with her legs through the bars hanging off the side of the walkway. Again, just silently watching, not doing anything. anything else from Madame and Gerard?
I would like to call Seren, but I've also had an epiphany whilst doing a bit of thinking and etc.
Okay.
So I would probably, if I see Hero and
Mm-hmm.
Barnabas coming up, I would probably kind of like motion them over, and then I would probably just, as I'm walking past Gerard, I'm Gerard. I can't walk past myself. As I'm walking past Madame, I'm not going to like grab her by the arm and like pull her along. I'll probably do like an impromptu like arm hook, and then kind of like walk her along. It's like I've just had a realization that might be worth elaborating on to a small degree, perhaps.
I was muted. Do go on.
Um, I was thinking about Max. I was somewhat remorseful I didn't go down. I think I would have enjoyed talking to him again. But hopefully, Hero and Barnabas have had some information that's useful. But I was thinking as I was trying to find Zaren's number in my phone, and I had the realization that Barnabas was right earlier when he said that snakes are usually attributed to betrayal. And I was wondering if Max's warnings of us bringing snakes and letting snakes in could perhaps be a reference to the conclusion of our deal with Warwickshire. Because Max's problems with snakes didn't begin until Princey's blood contract and us returning the finger bone.
Another theory? Yes. My concern is everything Z has said makes it seem like overall it was better for us to succeed than fail in our mission because they benefited, unless you think Warwickshire potentially left something behind or... yes, it's possible.
Well, if you consider a number of things, like the fact we still use phones, we're overpopulated in the area, and our proximity to London, it's something an asset like Max would be grotesquely wasted in our area. Prince Markov would benefit considerably greater by presenting Max the opportunity to extend his range and understand his visions better, and then relocate him to Coventry, which is a more central location than the capital.
We would need to know more about Markov and his problems, because to me it sounded like lupines were the main issue there.
That is true, yes. But in the case of Markov, if Z's contract had failed, it was a win-win for him regardless. And if with Z's contract completed and we have the finger bone, he wouldn't benefit from, he wouldn't exactly be hindered if Croydon were to collapse on itself.
No, you're right. Your friends didn't seem like the biggest fans of Markov. Maybe they can offer a bit more insight.
I can ask on that as well. But I'll leave you to collaborate with Barnabas and Hero, and I'll make that phone call. And he'll wander off to an area where he's largely alone to make his little phone call.
Think you're muted?
I was typing things, so just trying to be quiet. Yeah, you make the call. The phone rings. I can't remember what their voice was like. Hear it answered, but no one on the other end.
Hello? Darren, I presume. It is one of the visitors you had a few days ago. Or yesterday, I suppose, would be more appropriate. Or 2 days ago? I can't remember. Time flows strange in my brain. I didn't
You just said,
understand.
give me that. And yeah.
Saren? That was more of a
Yes.
um
Shouldn't use names. It's not a secure line.
well, in the interest of fairness in that case, hello darling, it's me, Gerard, Basile Bouchard de Roche. There we go. I've equally shot myself in the foot now.
What's wrong with you?
Look, I don't care about my own personal safety. I've had a rough time.
You may not care about yours, but I care about ours.
Well, yes, I'm putting myself on equal footing.
Who hurt you?
Pardon?
Nothing.
Anyway, I was just calling to ask if there was some information you could track down for us, if you are so inclined, in spite of my awkward little snafu.
What do you want, and what will you exchange for it?
Well, we would like information on 3 separate people, and in exchange, a local figurehead, shall we say, because I have to be smart about this apparently. Local figurehead has offered a boon in exchange for the information.
So 3 boons each.
I will ensure he gives you 3 for each piece of information. Well, they is the proper term. I'm terribly sorry. I will ensure they try and I will do my absolute best to ensure you receive 3 boons.
You're
from
new to this, aren't you, darling?
Yes, I'm trying to cope with a very stressful day. It's been a long time since I've had no cocktails.
Do you want to talk about it? Because I don't want to listen to it. We've been on this call too long already.
Well, I'm sorry
Look, if
to
you
say
need a
that.
cuddle, I'm sure you've got someone there.
Well,
But I'm busy.
I'm sorry to say, but people aren't advice takers by nature. So I've been trying to cope with the fact that I've just recently learned that my wife was executed by guillotine. So,
When was that?
a few hundred years ago.
And you're still not over it?
No. But that's beside the point. Can you find out this information on these 3 people for me, if you would be so kind?
I would be delighted, but you do need to tell me who the people are.
Ava of the Ventru from Croydon. I have forgotten.
Just, I'm sure there's more than one Ava in all of the UK.
Hold on, let me get the names. Also, quickly, out of character, someone remind me who the second person was.
So it's Ava Cromwell.
Ava Cromwell.
Eva Cromwell and Lowther.
And Lau. Do we know Lowther's last name? A man, a venture from a venture called Lowther, who apparently was sired by the former Prince of London. That's the best information I can provide.
Oh, well, if it was her, she was proper old darling.
And the other one is your own Prince Markov.
You want me to dig on Prince Markov?
Yes.
That's a bigger boon.
Okay, I'll have to get back to you on that one. Because that's a more impromptu.
Well, until you get back to me, I won't start on that one.
Which is very wise.
Sorry, I'm just looking at chat. It's made me laugh.
An A plus Jaws reference.
Well, it's like Tom was saying. I had lots of questions, and then my mind went blank because I was too busy thinking about surviving with all my limbs. And Davey said, "You can grow your limbs back. You'd have been fine." And then Veronica said, "We're going to need a bigger boon."
Yeah, like you're going to need a bigger boon. But yes, I have to resist my urge to be rather Nosferatu-like as well, and be slightly scheming. But yes, I would appreciate anything you can find on the first two, at least.
You're so lucky I'm not at my haven.
Got to do the voice. You're so lucky. This was a very long phone call. Just a word to the wise. That's a bad phrase, isn't it? You're clearly not very wise. Word to you. Don't have calls for more than a minute. If you do, expect a visit.
Well, there have been motion sensors placed around my haven, so I would...
You don't say. That's all for now.
And she hangs up.
Oh, rude.
If when Gerard turns around, I pretty much gonna guess that Hero, Madam, and Barnabas are all just stood there, open mouthed.
That's a rather pleasant phone call, to be honest. All things considered.
Okay. Any last things you would like to wrap up before we end
Was
the
that a
session?
burner phone?
The
It
phone
is
I've always
now.
carried.
Full name as well. Full name.
I'm
And
three.
basic details about where he lives.
I'm 300 years old. I think I'm a little past caring.
If someone's listening and they didn't know that you'd spotted, oh, I love it. I love it so much.
It was wonderful. That was wonderful.
How do you turn this thing off?
The
I
only
don't
thing
know.
Well,
that
he
could have
keeps
made
talking.
that better is if you FaceTimed them and it was just your forehead.
Oh, so true.
If there was anything, I've forgotten. I'm done.
I know. Well, it looks like there'll be another part then, doesn't it?
As we said repeatedly that there would be.
I'd say there's going to be at least 2, because I don't see us wrapping this up anytime soon.
Well, I think the problem with this is it's quite open-ended, so not really sure what you want to wrap up. There's so many threads going on at the moment.
I feel like the last session we run of this will probably be people teaching Gerard how to be somewhat more vague and cloak and dagger on the phone.
Right, when you're being sneaky, don't give out your full name and titles.
And clues as to where you live and your history.
Any identifiable
brilliant.
information.
I don't
I
want
think
him
Hero's
to
just
change.
going to print off like GDPR guidance for him.
I'm gonna sit. When it's not Stu's day off, I'll just make you sit with him for an hour.
So I'm curious, anyone in chat, probably not everyone's been here for the whole thing, but thank you for the follows. I think it was Campbell's Troll and Low Cutties. And thanks, Davey, for keeping an eye out for us. I'm just wondering if anyone's got any theories, any thoughts. Veronica definitely had a puzzled face for quite a lot of... Well, not puzzled, like a thinking face, like a real heavy thinking face.
I'm
Still
fucking loving
think
it.
Inquisition. Are you introducing the Setites? Maybe the Ministry. You're not going to tell me, but that's another
I'm not
theory
going to tell
I have.
you. I'm just interested.
So the Ministry
in
are another clan that their symbol is snakes, and they're separate. They don't really side with the Camarilla or the Anarchs. All this about their own independent clan that believe in the god Set, and they're returning.
So you've moved on from being paranoid about your tattoo last week, then?
Yeah.
I still think that I still think there's something going on.
I've been here for 20 years. I've not just arrived.
Yeah, it was
But you
good.
did say they were already here.
Well,
yes.
That's why that ties in lovely with my theory that it's Markov, because now that we've made that deal, he's kind of gotten in Croydon now.
Yeah, I was for the mind it's either Markov. Towards the end of it, I was being swayed to the idea of it being the Inquisition or whatever that kind of whole tin of worms is, can of worms.
I think poor Barnabas had a bit of a day as well.
Oh, this episode for Barnabas.
Barnabas had a... He had a... And I'm sorry, I am going to play up and make you feel guilty, because I think that's...
This is what I wanted from this game.
Yeah.
I was looking at the rules. We apparently got to make... I've got to make a regret check at the end of the session. So I've got one empty slot in my humanity. If I've got to make a one dice roll, and if it's not success, I lose a point of humanity.
Let's do it now. Yeah, good point, Davey. Yeah, we're just going to do it now. And I think that means Gerard gets 2 dice, right?
Yeah, Gerard. I got to success get rid of my stains, I think that means.
Yeah, you can get... Yes.
I'm so pleased in a way that me and Hero and I don't know what happens.
Oh, Gerard will tell you at some point.
No!
By the way, there was a bit of an incident earlier today. Just so you know, Barnabas might be a bit sensitive.
I know everything about you and don't need to... I never thought I could have too much information.
Oh, you were lucky. Boo! Davey's congratulating you for maintaining your humanity, but I'm like, oh, you get on the road towards Max's level of humanity. I'll see you good. Well done.
Very easy to lose humanity, but hard to gain it.
It's very hard to gain it.
Also, I've clocked something you've done, Matthew, and you're a bastard. I can't talk about it yet, but I've seen what you've done, and you're a bastard.
I don't even know what I've done, and I've done it, apparently.
1 second. Jim was on the welcome page. Is there something on the welcome page?
No, there is nothing on the welcome page.
Oh,
It was something that I couldn't remember what the characters' names were, so I came back here to tell Sarah.
okay.
Right. Yeah, low humanity sucks. Was it 4 humanity at one point? Yeah, that Max is actually on 4 humanity. Poor guy. It's weird, actually. Max was just supposed to be like a background character that probably wouldn't really have much interaction, but I actually quite like him now. It's one of my favourites.
It creates quite a nice interaction, but you'd never know exactly what to take from what he's saying.
Mm.
That's what
And it could all be
fantastic way of introducing these like really cryptic kind of nuances without.
It just creating paranoia within the group.
That's what this game's all about, I think. Paranoia, isn't it? It's that kind of. It is Machiavellian. You kind of don't know who you can trust, and it's interesting watching your journey from the first one shot when you were pretty much it's either we'll just go back, we'll get the prince to put a blood hun and we'll kill her, to like, what if there's more to it? And like you can see, like you just even when you think you know, you don't fully trust everything. So now you're like, maybe it's Markov, maybe, and it's nice. It's good. It's good.
Gerard's gonna have one of those things in his haven, like all the little posters and paperwork everywhere connected by string, and he's like, "It's Markov." Now it's the Inquisition.
My rat gun.
What to do? Yeah, I don't have string, so it has to be rat gut. I just have to like stretch it.
Lovely.
Rat gut.
Just
like they used to make.
I know what you mean. That's so many rats.
Violins, tennis rackets out of cat guts. Yeah, why not? So many rats. Just for the purposes of
testing, it fits around a football 3 times, and there was that.
Just in prep for next session, what time is it currently?
It's
pretty sure it takes us 3 hours to roleplay an hour.
Maybe 3 hours
it's
to
all
roleplay,
isn't it?
Sometimes.
Well, I would say it's probably about because you were split up for half of it, so that happens at the same time. Davey ran into a salubri. We were talking about those the other day. So I think that time of year it gets dark about 6:30. So it's probably just after 8 p.m.
Okay, good, because I can't remember. I might have a gig tonight.
My God!
I'm trying to remember what. I'm sure I said something in the first session about as long as we're back by
Monday, I think, or something.
Something like that. Well, no, it was a Monday when we went, so it's now Tuesday, so it might be either tonight or tomorrow. I've got a gig. But it'll be a late night one. It'll be fine. We can make it as long as it's like 8.
Well done for remembering that, because I wouldn't have. But that would be funny. I'd have to go back and watch and then be like, oh yeah,
I'll
you didn't turn up for your gig. I had to play an instrumental set.
I feel
or
that
whatever you play.
I feel that if Hero doesn't show up to a gig, if he doesn't play music often enough, he probably has to like roll a rouse check or something just to keep him. It's like his way of managing it all.
Yeah.
Does Hero play one of those kind of keyboard stroke guitars or in the 80s?
No, he doesn't. No, he does not.
In my head, that's what he plays.
Yeah, look at his picture. He looks like he should. Where is it? He would look good with one of those. He would look real good with one of those.
No,
like
good with a
guitar keyboard.
No, you're taking the stylistic color choices as an 80s thing, but he's very much he's a modern boy. He plays guitar,
Okay. Yes,
sings. He'll also do bass and drums, and he does like classical piano.
Got a long time to practice when you're that old.
Yeah, exactly.
They're an age me like one of your French girls.
I've never had a French girl like you, Gerard.
No, I'm far too glorious.
We have different
Right.
understandings of that word.
That was a good session. I'm a bit.
Rather uncomfortable.
I'm not even sure myself what happened really. I didn't really know what would
We
happen.
slept a bit and we met up. That's pretty much it.
They killed someone.
We killed someone
horrifically.
and then burnt a house down.
Tried to, I don't know, recompense by committing almost suicide by talking to a crazy Malkavian.
I really wanted you to like say something wrong because I've got a list of triggers for him. So if you say the wrong thing, he will just probably take your arm off and hit you with a soggy end. But you haven't so far. It's basically like buzzword bingo, but where you can get smushed if you get one of the words right.
Look, I'm the one person who is rather renowned for always prepping new characters and being like, if my character dies, and I was sitting in there going, holy shit, is Tom going to die first in Vampire?
I mean, I was going to say it's hard to kill someone with your bare hands, but it isn't hard when you've got Potence 4, because I think Davey will probably confirm or deny. I think you can literally pull people to pieces at that level. It might be level 5 actually, which he hasn't got, so you might be safe.
Anyway, that was a really good session tonight, Matt. Thank you.
No, it was good. I enjoyed it. I'll be completely honest with you. Unlike when we run D&D, I kind of have it's prepped, so I kind of know if you go here, this will happen. If you go there, that will happen. This is not working. The vampire doesn't work like that. This is kind of like I know what's happening, and who the players are, and what the players are doing. And when I say players, I mean the NPCs, I guess. But then it comes down to what you guys do. So it's more like fluid. That's the only way I can describe it. It's not scripted. It's fluid. So what you do will change what they do, and yeah, it's interesting. It's a really interesting experience, actually. Not stressing about having everything prepped is quite nice. And you guys can just role play to your heart's content as well. It doesn't. I can rely on you to fill time. All of the time.
Yeah, you can rely on us to take a one session, one shot, and turn it into
campaign.
Minimum of 6 sessions.
Yeah. I think almost there's this. I think there's so many potential threads here that it will just keep going. It's like life. It doesn't stop. Keeps going and going and going. Yeah, I'm just looking at Potence. Earth Shock's quite cool. At level 5, they can basically like punch the ground and knock everyone over, that kind of thing.
I need to. I think it's all getting to the point now. This really isn't a short game, is it? We're going to be playing this for a while, so I'm going to actually properly read the rules.
I know. I was reading them today, and then all the things that I hadn't read came up tonight. All the things I had read didn't, because I thought, those things will come up tonight. But I thought it was beautiful that you had 5 hunger. That was fish.
Yeah, I did. That was sort of that went bad quick because I was sort of on 3, and in that beginning of this session, I went from 3 to 4, and then woke up and went straight to 5. So brilliant.
That was bad, and I'll be honest. I probably played that a bit harsher than it should have been, but it was better to I think it was just better to keep it flowing rather than me go and look up the rules. And
it was a delightful scene.
It was. I could see you all look distraught. I mean, Hazel and Veronica looked like they were loving it because they weren't there,
but distraught in loving it.
I was in a mind of like, I have to stop this in character, but out of character, I don't want to stop this.
I was the opposite.
Tell me.
I was
Tom,
like, I
you'd
was
look-
having an existential crisis here, out of character. In character, I'm like, I've got to rip this guy's throat out. I don't want to do it.
I know, but do you think that the interesting thing I find about that is, do you think it will make you think differently about your hunger next time? Yeah,
Used
yeah,
all those abilities as well. I was being a
Yeah.
bit. I have to admit, I used a lot of rouse checks and ability checks.
yeah, and you were getting away with it. You all were. You were actually passing quite a lot.
And then
But once you get to
bloody
5,
And actually, the funny thing is that the better you are at the ability, the more dice you roll, so the more you risk gaining hunger. So
yeah,
it's like sometimes being really good at ability is not a great thing. So
yeah, you're almost. I mean, the skills don't come up a lot, but you almost need to use them really only when it's absolutely necessary. Otherwise, yeah. But that was wonderful. Well, it was terrible, but it was
Don't be
great.
rude.
No, but it was a horrible incident in the story. But it was a wonderful part of the game that came out of that. It gave you more to play with your character, and actually gave Max something to see when you met him as well. Ultimately,
I loved how he put every time I've seen him so far, he's pointed out the thing I'm regretting most. The biggest regrets in my life, he just holds them up in front of my face and says, "There you go."
This is a bit rubbish, isn't it?
Thanks.
Oh, what the fuck did you do here?
You feel like crap. There we go. There it is.
Well, the way I see it with him is he probably, he's blind, so he doesn't see anything anymore, but he's seeing what you saw. So he's being forced to watch you kill that guy, and then Gerard join in, and then you burn the house down. So that's probably quite disturbing for him, being forced to watch all these horrible things when you meet people. He's fast becoming my favourite character. Actually, he was just a background character, but yeah, it's really interesting. And I know Malkavians. I've had mental health challenges in my life, so I hope I tried to make it something that's perhaps not easy. It's not. There's no real parallel for any of our lives, is there? It's kind of an extreme characterization. So apologies if anyone finds it challenging, but I like him. And it all those ethical questions about, is it using him to keep people safe, but is it fair? It's it's interesting. Yeah, I never expected it to be interesting. So this game wins again. Really, it just like you said, it shows you things just like Max showed you things. It kind of holds a mirror up, doesn't it? Very cool. Right, I'm going to end the stream then. So thanks for watching. I'm going to I might see if we can pop us off on a raid somewhere, but it doesn't look like there's any. Doesn't look like there's anyone.
Night, Davey.
Good night, sir.
Yeah, good night, Davey. Take care of yourself. It looks like we might be playing next Monday as well, if everyone's up for it.
How convenient.
Yeah, how convenient. I can only see a Dungeons and Dragons channel. That's the one, which is Captain Robert. He's quite good. He's a very good role player, but it's usually not live. So I'll ping us. Oh no, he's live. Okay, it's not a rerun. I'll ping us over to Captain Robert. So yeah, thank you. We'll be back next Monday. We're playing on Sunday. I can't remember. Just Monday. I'll update the
Depends on
schedule.
whether you want to. Yeah, it depends on whether you want to DM twice in a row, I think.
Fine with that.
Well, I thought Nick was taking Sundays for the time being.
Okay.
Or is that from a certain date? I don't remember.
It might be. So it's probably just Monday, and it'll be Vampire. So awesome. Laters.
Night all.
Laters. Do we get another experience point?
I've already added it, so I hope so.
You do. One more experience point. Has it done it?
Yes, it has. Also,
Cool.
random little tidbit, but this Captain Robert fellow, he's using the map that Nick used for that palace in Akros that we had to stay in. I
Oh,
think.
right.
I can't remember shuffling around in that place.
Yeah, he is. You're right.
And give myself a point in larceny with my experience after we went in that house.
Nice.